George Haddix began life in poverty. His family lived in a shack made out of railroad car doors. This little house that still stands on North 16th Street was their first real home in Omaha. He started his first business at age 12, delivering newspapers for the Omaha World Herald.
Good training, because in those days you delivered the papers, you bought the papers, and you collected for the papers. So in fact, you had a little business going.
George graduated in 1957 from Omaha North High School, where he has since been honored as a Viking of distinction. And in 1962, he graduated from Omaha University. After 3 years in St. Louis as a civilian mathematician with the Air Force, George returned to Omaha. He earned a master's degree from Creighton while working for the Army Corps of Engineers. But George wanted to teach, so he headed for Iowa State University to earn a doctorate in mathematics in 1968. He went on to teach at 3 universities where he had earned degrees. But a fork in the road while he was teaching at Creighton led him to the business world in 1975.
I was teaching at the university level and consulting at the same time, and eventually the consulting really got to be the tail that was wagging the dog. And so I decided to quit teaching and focus on consulting, and got hooked up with Chuck Durham, and the rest is history.
He merged his consulting company with HDR Systems and left teaching behind to head up the software and services subsidiary.
I had no business experience other than my paper route. Here's the lesson I learned from Chuck Durham. One, it's a lot of work to keep a company growing, but you have to keep it growing. And the reason for that is I watched Chuck, and he would keep these companies growing. He could hire good people because it was a growing company. And then as it grew, it would pull those good people up.
When HDR was sold in 1981, George went to Applied Communications as chairman, CEO, and president. ACI develops and markets online transaction software for retail use. He took the company public in 1983. In 1987, George's path took him to U.S. West Network Systems Incorporated as president and CEO. He arranged the company's sale to IBM after leading the development of a network management software system.
The challenges are to basically recognize the difference between the opportune times and the challenging times in terms of financing, and the business cycles are going against you or whatever, and work through those. And you need to find people that will help you do that.
In 1994, he co-founded and became president of software and services companies CSG Holdings and CSG Systems. Haddix ended his career journey as chairman and CEO of PK Ware Holdings and PK Ware when the companies were sold in 2009.
In Omaha, it's always been a challenge in what we would call the high-tech area of computer science and software. It's been a bit of a challenge to find people, because you usually find the people think of the West Coast and Boston area as being the high-tech centers of the country, and so it always is a little bit of a challenge to draw people to Omaha to work in high-tech. Once they get here, they like it.
He's pleased with Omaha's high-tech growth.
It's not the tech center of the nation or the world by any means, but we have some good companies here now. And we're starting with the Kiewit Center at UNO.
George now spends time managing the Family Charitable Foundation.
We've focused on education in the greater Omaha area, I guess it would be, and in particular on education for STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math.
His lead gift helped fund the Haddix Center, an engineering and science addition to Omaha North High School. George helped fund the renovation of UNO's Roskins Hall into a new home for the College of Education, from which his wife Sally, a longtime teacher, graduated. She died in 2008.
There's a lot of potential in human beings that can be channeled through education. Our education system is what got us where we are today as a society, as a country. Our education system today is our problem, but it's also the answer.
Thanks to scholarships from George, Omaha North High Magnet School students can now attend Creighton and Doane College.
I believe every one of them represents the first person in their family that went to college.
The former mathematics teacher has helped other projects for education, including endowing chairs at Creighton and UNO. The boards of Creighton and Doane benefit from his service. George has one son, Grant, and 4 grandchildren. For using his mathematical skills to develop and implement computer software that has made a difference in how we do business, and for his generosity to the cause of education, we welcome to the Omaha Business Hall of Fame, George F. Haddix.